So welcome to the Cost to Build podcast. I'm starting this podcast because I thought, you know what, it would be a perfect platform to basically have conversations about brands, businesses, and the journey of building something real. So every week I'm gonna be inviting like new guests from business owners to up and coming entrepreneurs, people with businesses, people who are already in the industry. Just gonna try my best to get those types of people. But this solo episode, I'm just gonna introduce what this podcast is about and my own journey that I'm about to take as an entrepreneur. Now, I'm not like one of those people who's like, oh, I've already made $1 million from this brand, this business, or that. I'm going to start a new, fresh business, a luxury perfume business. Simply for the fact that I've been thinking about it for a minute since 2023. Imagine it's 2026 now, and I was thinking about it for a very long time. I did not know the difficulties or like how difficult it was. It looked like it's not necessarily difficult in terms of making the product itself. I think the marketing will probably be the most difficult part. But yeah, this is something I've really had a passion for right now. Like I really looked at it in terms of the cost effectiveness for in terms of like entering the industry. It's not that high depending on the cost price of your product. So I thought to myself, okay, no, I can do this on a budget. So I'm gonna be documenting that through a series of podcast episodes as well as like vlogs and just like documenting. The whole point of this channel, the whole point of also this podcast is to basically document the journey and build publicly. Firstly, as like a public archive. Secondly, as a way of holding myself and just like whatever's being built by whomever accountable for building that thing. Because I feel like when you tell the people that you're building something, you're automatically now accountable for that thing. People are gonna know. It's like in the next year or 2 years, where is this thing? Or you just stopped in the middle of nowhere, kanjani manje. And thirdly, also creating content. When you create like at the end of the day, you need content, you need to monetize content, you need awareness for the brand and the business that you're creating. So it's like it makes sense to create content around it so that you never run out of content. Otherwise you're gonna run out of content if you don't do like the behind the scenes, the going into this new business venture and trying and failing and whatever it might be, just documenting it. So yeah, every week I'll be having new guests. This is the first episode. So I'm building a luxury perfume business. Like I've been just learning the ins and outs on luxury and just like what it's like and the kind of market it is here in South Africa. And just like the fact that there's a lot of people who are actually buying, especially independent perfumers, independent uh, brands here in South Africa in terms of perfumes. So I thought, okay, it's a wonderful time to enter because the demand is there. I could definitely see how I can separate or differentiate myself from everybody else and then execute. So yeah, these past few months since the beginning of the year, in terms of now like the physical product, I've just been getting like ideas on ideas and concepts, what is visually pleasing, what goes with the brand, also creating a brand identity. I just worked extensively just trying to see what could penetrate the market. On the one hand, I don't want to overthink it and risk procrastination. But on the other hand, I also want it to be a really good product that people will want to buy, that people can relate to. People will be like, okay, no, this is something I could keep coming back, not just like buy once, but I could keep coming back because like they like the fragrance. So, where do I go? I made a couple of notes on the side here, so don't mind me. Um, okay, I touched on that. In South Africa right now, a lot of people they've been searching for side hustle opportunities and things like that because it's really hard getting a job and it's also harder getting a good paying job. So people want to supplement what they already have or what they don't have with a side hustle and hopefully it turns into an actual business of theirs. I've been seeing online like on TikTok this girl who's selling like water, she has like a supplier who supplies her with water and then she puts it together in like with her own brand. There's cosmetics, makeup, there's so many people, even clothing brands. Also a really good idea that I thought I'd have just to create more content was like sharing on TikTok plugs, like companies that are supplying, with printing, supplying with whatever product that you're gonna need for your own brand. So I'll be sharing a lot of that on my TikTok But yeah, so a lot of people are seeking side hustle opportunities and they don't know what to enter into. And some of the stuff that they trying to enter into, it's extremely saturated. There's a lot of competition. They're not making any money from it. So that's why, like I actually started with drop shipping and I realized just how difficult it is because online people have this tendency to make things seem as if it's very easy. They'll be like, okay, I just started a drop shipping store. Let me give myself 12 hours to start a drop shipping store and see how much money I can make. It's not that easy. Like, unless you really have a lot of money and a lot of experience, then maybe it is that easy. But for a beginner, you're not going to make money just in 12 hours like that. Like, it really takes a lot of time and understanding. And then, of course, a lot of money for those ads, meta ads. Even Facebook will tell you when you're about to run your ad that, like, your budget is way too small and they're gonna say okay you need to double it or triple it and then that's when and otherwise if your budget is too small it's gonna just remain it's gonna stay in a state of like what is it called? I forgot what they call it. It's not the learning phase. It's just before the learning phase. It's like when your budget is too small to move any units, then it stays there until perhaps you like increase it or something happens, but it's not gonna move if it's too small. So just like the point of I realized doing that drop shipping that like I can't pick out some random product online and then hope that I'm gonna create like a really good website with all of like the upsells and stuff like that and think that if I put this budget then people are gonna buy it. I need to invest in a product that is actually meant for the long term, not just some short term I got it from China kind of a thing. Like this is why I decided to do this perfume brand or fragrance brand. It's called Vela, which means present yourself or show yourself in Xhosa and Zulu. So I thought, okay, cool, let me really invest time and effort into this because the dropshipping stuff, like I started burning a lot of money, just like burning on ads, and I was like, oh no, I can't keep this up. So I need, a product whereby I can actually make it my baby, grow it, nurture it, and make it into something that's, something that people will also gravitate towards. So that's why I've been taking so long just on the design of things. I've also been trying to do research on like the most cost effective companies. I mean, there's companies just for like printing on bottles, on like the glass bottles. I have about 15 glass bottles just as samples to just get started in testing the product and stuff like that. And there's a lot of companies out there that they have a minimum order unit. You can't just do 15 to 20. Some of them will start, or a lot of them will start at 100, and the cost can even go to a 5,000 just from ordering 100 and then printing on 100 bottles. So I was just like, yo, that's a lot. I don't have the kind of budget, so it was a struggle just finding cost-effective companies that's actually willing to say, okay, no, doesn't matter how many units that you have, we can print on your glass bottles for any amount, for any unit. I'm like, okay, cool, that's dope. So sometimes it's tricky just finding the right way, right workflow that works, so stuff like that. But yeah, I did manage to find. So sometimes people suffer from those types of things where it's like it's either the market's oversaturated or you think you're just gonna enter and then boom. But nah, it often takes a lot of time and it often takes a lot of money. So this is why going slow, going on your own pace, but not procrastinating, making sure you have the right budget and the right product matters. This was why with Vela fragrances, even just what we stand for, all of those things, I've been giving it a lot of careful thought. It's still rooted in African luxury, African premium um, style. So I thought to myself, okay, no, hold on, probably delete this part. So yeah, like there's a lot of people just looking for side hustles and things like that. Some people land on forex, some people land on e-commerce, drop shipping. They land on remote jobs. They land on like being a remote worker, tutors, all those types of things. And it's like like it also gets to a point where some people become entrepreneurs, such as myself now trying to enter into that space. finding a product is difficult, finding suppliers, but once you go on that journey, like it gets a bit easier. You start to even memorize these companies. They do this, they over there in this city, in that city. Okay, cool. And then obviously as time goes, the trickiest part of it all, I think, it will be selling. Like creating the product. Once you know where to get what, you're done. You just need to now learn to sell. Like, who is this product for, and I'm actually gonna buy it. So throughout the past few years, or maybe even past 5, 7 years, people have been online in South Africa just searching for something at online, like it's gonna bring in some randellas. But okay, there's the scams, there's all these things where just you lose your money, you lose your confidence, you lose motivation, and it's like you procrastinate. And I think sucks a lot. And this is why finding a product, I believe a lot in product based business, because like service based business, I'm starting to dislike it a lot. Or I've come to dislike service businesses, even though they make a lot of money. But I don't know, there's something about a product based business where all you need to have is a product. Over time you refine that product, and you market the product, and that's really it. Once it's there, people can buy it, and then obviously as time goes, you refine it, polish it, you upgrade it, and then you sell. Based business depends so much on the client. Like a client might not like the service that you provided. Sometimes they might not know what they want, and it's a headache, because yeah, I just find service-based business to be too reliant on the client and making the client happy. But yeah, I mean, hey, some people are really good at that and others not. And yeah, I don't like that, because a client can just change their mind in like go 0 to 100 really quick. So I'm just like, nope. At least product, make something that's gonna last for people and sell it to them. uh, some of the reasons why people want side hustles is for freedom. It's, that extra income. It's that, like, you're able to leave your 9 to 5. You're able to, on a random Wednesday, just drive around Joburg, go to the zoo, go to a coffee shop or something, without always going to the office. And it's like from 9 o'clock all the way to 5 o'clock, get stuck in traffic, deal with people. Sometimes being your own boss, I guess, has its perks. You're motivated to work because you have people on your payroll, and you have like a company of all these people and all these bills that you need to pay. Plus, you probably just enjoy it a lot because you really have a kick-ass product. Um, so I feel like we consume a lot of entrepreneurship more than we build. So the whole point of what I'm trying to create now is to build. I think one thing that has remained true above all else in anything is once you build, and not just you create and then you toss away, but you actually build. You take the time, you make the effort to actually build something that speaks to people. That's where success is, and that's what makes the journey fun. It's not fun when you're doing something that you're not passionate about, something that you're not interested in. And building is like a process, it's like a journey. You can hear it in the name. You're building, like your Kalapansi foundation, level 1, level 2, level 3, and you go on and you elevate. So that's what I really love. And yeah, people don't focus on that a lot. People love content about make money online, entrepreneurship. It's like, go on. And as I said earlier, like drop shipping, make money in next 12 hours, all of that stuff. But it's very interesting. Those guys that are creating that, they're making content for people to consume, and they're making their money through like that. But us as the viewers, you're not making any money. You're probably getting all motivated for like 30 seconds, and then after that it's back to the normal basics. uh, and you never execute. Like, you watch that content, consume, make money online, entrepreneurship, how to do this, how to do that, but you never execute. It's like we get a dopamine. There's like this there's a spike in our dopamine where we're like, oh yeah, we're on top of the world because we're imagining ourselves driving the Lamborghinis those guys are driving, owning the business those guys are owning. The minute we scroll away, gah, that's all gone. You're back to reality. Mm. Something also which is very something that I've also noticed a lot is idea addiction. We're always addicted to the idea of business. Addicted to like making money, but we don't really know what that means exactly. The sacrifices. The amount of patience that you need to exercise, and sacrifices can even mean for a whole month, 3 months, you're not going outside. You're literally staying indoors, saving up as much money as possible so that you can, go and execute your ideas. Mm. Has entrepreneurship become content as opposed to being something tangible that even you as a person can do? That's something that I've had to ask myself. Like, am I just consuming all of this stuff and then living it in my mind, or am I actually going to step outside and into like the am I gonna step outside into the world and actually execute these things? Uh, so why I started Vela Fragrances. Um, so back in 2023, I was down in the dirts trying to look for like a really good job and stuff like that. I was like, yo, yeah, it's really cutthroat sometimes, but I landed on what is easy to execute, like what can I execute on a low budget. And I found that like with fragrances you can actually create from the comfort of your own home. You can get like fragrance oils, the alcohol, the fragrance oil, and then you just need glass bottles, caps, pumps, all of these things, and they're so inexpensive. I mean, yeah, you probably won't even spend 1,000 rand on just the production of it. So that's when I was like, okay, no, this is something right up my alley. And the thing is, the markup potential is high because luxury fragrances. I mean, you can make, let's say, one bottle for like 300 to 600 rand, and then you can sell it for like 1.2 to 2,000 rand. That's how a lot of the luxury brands, the well established brands, make their money. Obviously mine probably wouldn't be up there. I've tried to keep production as low as like over 100, 180, around the, just to get it so I could sell it within the 5, 6, 700, 800 rand mark. And then as I build the name of it, and then that's when the start upgrading the packaging and stuff, because I realized that like packaging is really why people buy a lot of fragrances, and that's where the money is at. So the bottle itself might actually be very cheap, but the reality is the packaging is the expensive part. Like that's where now, okay, it's understandable why like some of your top fragrances will be like 1.2, 1.82K. It's because of the packaging, the quality of it, how it was made, and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, cool. That's where I'm gonna be able to make a lot of money with the markup. But yeah, fragrances, because it's a easy low, what is it called? It's like a low barrier to entry. Also just understanding how to mix fragrances. I mean, you can mix fragrances yourself, or you can just go to like a supplier out there. I go to a supplier, go to the Scent Lab. They gave me some fragrance oils, and then I buy fragrance oil, alcohol, and then I mix it, and then I get like some really nice scents from that. Yeah, so it's really just that because of low barrier to entry financially, and the fact that it has like high markup potential. Uh, so one thing that like was very tough for me now is also like just the embarrassment phase. It's really embarrassing to create something, to build something. It's genuinely embarrassing. Having people looking at you, maybe one person, two people, building for a few months and having no progress. That thing is embarrassing. But I think I'm slowly trying to get over that so that I don't procrastinate and that I'm not demotivated easily or anything like that. So that's why I'm just like, okay, cool. There's also going to be an embarrassment phase where it feels like there's no progress, or it feels like, there's nobody really there, or it's like, what are we really doing? But it's okay. Just keep on building, keep on moving, and then, yeah, let it be what it will be. So the embarrassment phase sometimes it's like low views, no customers, no sales, no nothing, but like it's a natural part of it. Nobody should ever be afraid of that. It's part of the journey. When we're talking about building, that's part of those, that journey of building. Mm. What does success actually look like? What success actually means. It's not followers, not appearance. It's building systems that's going to ensure that we keep moving forward and keep elevating higher and higher with Vela fragrances. So it's just one of those things whereby it's not about the social media engagement, it's not about followers, it's not about likes and all those things. I know that those things are important, but those things they're gonna come when they come. But right now it's just about announcing Vela to the world. It's about announcing, these fragrances, the look, the feel, what we're about, presence before words. That is kind of the in-house or the words of Vela fragrances, presence before words. It's a young man's ambition. Yeah, I'm about to show off some of what I've been working on when it comes to Vela. You guys need to stay tuned to like the social media pages. It's gonna be mainly TikTok, YouTube, and I'll see which other ones. And the thing is, I know I don't wanna spread myself too thin with social media stuff. Right now, I'm posting a lot of it also on my personal, my business brand, my personal business brand, YouTube channels and stuff like that, like Wella Online. But I'm also gonna have like Vela Fragrances, TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. So you guys can also catch it there, but I'm not trying to be on all the platforms because that's a lot of work and I still don't have like a team or anything. So I'm just like, okay, cool, let me handle or do the amount that I can do right now and not try to go over. I'm gonna obviously showcase a lot of Vela through like vlogs. Uh, I don't know the frequency in which I'm gonna be releasing that, but yeah, we're gonna work something out, like a schedule or something like that. I'm not always busy with Vela because my funds run out and then I have to wait to reload at the end of the month. So it's like, and I'm currently working on moving out. So it's like, yeah, it's not gonna for a minute. I'm not gonna be able to touch it, but yeah, uh, every time I'm not physically, tangibly touching Vela, like I'm just doing research on companies that provide this service, printing, all of that. I'm seeing which designs work, which designs don't work. And one thing that I've also made extensive use of is AI. I've used a lot of ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, and even Gemini for like conceptualizing the designs, just designing different designs, all of these things. And one thing that actually I found really helps with AI in terms of getting like the better image, it's actually taking a picture of the thing that you wanted to make adjustments to. So I have like perfume bottles from for the perfume brand. It's like empty bottles basically that have no branding on them. So what it is, just like I take a picture of them and their cap, and then I'll go there to Copilot or ChatGPT. I'll be like, okay, cool, design this, add the logo, that, and then it comes back with a super realistic, super clean looking image, and that will have like what I asked for, or maybe I check different designs. I've been trying that for a minute to see, like what's gonna convert, what's not gonna convert into something tangible. So yeah, I've been making extensive use of like AI and stuff like that, which it helps, to be honest. I mean, some people don't have the budget for graphic designers and stuff like that, so it just makes sense to use what you are able to use. This AI stuff is there for you to use it, so it's like it's not necessarily building the entire product from scratch, but it is helping out to where there's a shortfall. You know what I mean? So I kind of have an idea of what I want the bottle to look like, the design, and then AI helps me go all the way. And then of course also in terms of visualizing what the branding is gonna be like, I already have like the glass bottles, take a picture, go there, I prompt the specific type of design that I'm looking for, and then they come back AI to me, and then it's like, okay, how about this? I'm like, nope, how about that? So it does work. It's cost effective, it's cheap. But yeah, so would I utilize AI for other stuff? Yeah, even like product photography and stuff like that. I definitely use it. I do have like an Instagram channel where I was posting a lot of AI images with the Villa products just to like visualize it for myself. But yeah, since I am a filmmaker anyway, I will be doing my own product photography shots and promotional videos by myself with like human beings, but it's just good to always conceptualize and have an idea without necessarily doing too much. You know what I mean? Using money to go to point A, point B, get actors A, actors B, and stuff like that, which can be costly sometimes. But yeah, So, um, I've also been seeing a lot, like, there's a lot of inspiring South African business people like Abo Legao with Drip, Abo Theo Baloyi with Batu. There's quite a few. So I was just like, like now is a really great time. In fact, back then would have been a even better time, but yeah, the best time is always now. So I'm thinking like, okay, no, there's demand for South African products. There's demand for South African, companies to come to the fold with like and offer South Africans products, everyday products that they can use. So I'm just like, okay, cool. Let me also, put my foot into this. Like, I'm inspired. I've always had a passion for business and entrepreneurship, and now's the time. If I don't do it now, I'm never gonna do it. So I was like, okay, cool, let me enter, because I also have that thing now where I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of South Africans out there that are doing it and they seem to be winning. I hope they really are winning, but they seem to be winning. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me enter as well. There's that demand. The time is right. I've picked, I guess, a really good and fresh industry to enter into. There's a lot of independent sellers that I'm also starting to notice, that are selling their own perfumes that might not be available in stores, but yeah, they're doing pretty well for themselves, selling to people online, stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me put my own head in the ring. So yeah, will you still build if nobody watched? If nobody watched, yeah, I'd have to, because I feel like, imagine a life where you're full of regret. You're like, oh, I didn't do that because nobody watched. So I was just like, no, no, I can't think like that. I can't allow myself to have that monumental amount of regret just because people didn't watch. Again, I do have faith that people will watch at a certain point. It's just like the beginning years, the first steps are where you have to walk alone before people can start to believe in your idea. Before you start converting people, and then they come to your side and they're like, okay, cool. Now we see what you're doing, and now we're willing to join. Now we're willing to view. So it's just one of those things, really. But it's like, I build even if people weren't watching, because I know eventually they will watch. Um, so South Africa right now as well, yeah. It's a perfect time to start businesses. It's a perfect time to start brands, build brands. No, no, not pump and dumps. No, don't just come with the product, try to sell as many units as possible, and then just dip from that. But to actually build something that's trustworthy, something that stands for something. That many people can get behind. So this is the journey. Thank you for watching this video. I know it's just like a quick little podcast episode introduction to what I'm trying to do here, but yeah, this it's gonna be quite exciting the next few months. I'm going to get some guests, hopefully like really well-known guests. Just talk about the cost to build. What is it? What does that mean? What does it mean having a brand? What does it mean? What are the sacrifices? What are the lonely nights like trying to get to where they got to with their brands, with their businesses. So yeah, join me on this road of cost to build, where it's all about business, brands, and the journey of building something real.